So is the Nintendo Switch 4K confirmed? Absolutely not, but it is fun to think about after supposedly Nintendo are now telling devs to make their games 4K ready. So let's play make believe today and talk about 5 games I want to see get that sweet 4K treatment, 2 that are like for sure coming to the Switch, and then 3 just like wishlist games that deserve to be played on the go. Drop your own wishlist in the comments below as well, I want to see what everybody's thinking. But with that luck, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So Doom Eternal, the latest successor to the mother of all shooters. It was supposed to join the Switch right around all the other consoles, and then it just kind of like disappeared. Well, it's high time this bad boy came to the Switch, and in no less than 4K. Now don't get me wrong, they did a stunning job with like the first Doom port, but here, this game, it just dials everything up to like 11. I played it on the Xbox, and within 5 minutes I was just sitting there asking myself, how will they make this work on the Switch? Not only does it bring hell to earth with incredible detail, but within like seconds you've helped a few enemies explode with your trusty shotgun, stabbed a few in the face, hacked through them with your chainsaw, and then casually just like use your bare hands to rip the leftover foes in half. Not only this though, but then it's all locked at 60 frames per second, or at least it is on the One X. Add all this together then with the texture detail, particle effects, dynamic lighting, and just the overall like scale, and yeah, I'm literally picturing my Switch turning into a ball of fire. As with the rumours online though, I'm putting my money on Doom Eternal releasing alongside the Nintendo Switch 4K, Pro, XL, whatever they want to call it. So announced for the Switch already, but with no like hard release date, Disco Elysium. This is a beaut of a game, and outside of my Switch library, the best game I've played in 2020. Here you'll be taking on the role of a detective, and it starts simple enough. You find a body hanging from a tree and you need to figure out this case. Insanely deep game that's bringing together like RPG mechanics with some good old tabletop gameplay. So yes, this thing has dice. Gotta give it to them though with this one, the optimization on PC means you can pretty much run it with relatively low hardware. That said though, still want to see it at its best when these visuals are so stunning with like a 3D watercolor style. Where this one would absolutely benefit from 4K though is, and in fact it'd probably make it a game changer, there's a whole lot of text and it is extremely small. Nearly everything here is a conversation, from discovering that next location to that next interrogation to the skill tree that you use, and it's a huge skill tree with like a ton of options where you spend points to shape your character. The Switch, it's well known, as long struggled from tiny text in handheld mode, and while the game no doubt will still need some optimization for that handheld, a boost to the built-in screen would go a long way. Give me 4K output, a 1080p screen, and it will make a huge difference and make experiences like this one just that bit more enjoyable. Either way though, look, buy this game the second you can. If not on the Switch, then grab it on the PC, because the story, the humour, the gameplay, absolutely near perfect. Alright, so with them 2 out of the way, let's get onto my 3 like wishlist games. Not announced, not even confirmed. Actually, a lot of them they've even said no, it's definitely not coming to the Switch. But you can't blame me for hoping. First, Yakuza, the more recent releases. Yakuza is one of my favourite game series out there, and I own every one at this point. But if we could see the Kiwami remakes ported, the remasters, and then 0 and 6, I'd be one happy guy. Now granted, I don't see too much difficulty with current hardware for the first few, but probably 6 and onwards, we're going to have issues where the graphics really did see a decent jump. Yakuza is basically take a small scale GTA, throw away the vehicles, and then just like smash in some brawler style fighting, and it is pretty much genius. With the size of the city though seeing a boost kinda recently, the lighting that's being used, the neon filled streets of Kamurocho, it would take a lot to pack it all in with the current Switch hardware. Sadly though, this one, it might be the biggest wish on today's list. I don't think it's a question of can we do it, but why would we do it? Because they released Yakuza 1 and 2 HD on the Wii U and it absolutely bombed. My ask, Sega, just give us one more chance. We are smarter gamers now, and the Switch is severely lacking in that kind of open world style arena. Hell, I'll even compromise, give me like Shenmue or maybe Judgment, a detective take on the Yakuza style. Okay, so drop a comment down below if you agree with me on this next one, but Persona 5, we need Persona, but not Scramble, the announced kind of Dynasty Warriors take on the series, but Persona. For those that haven't played Persona 5, it's one of, if not the best RPG of current gen gaming. Cue the comments below proving me wrong with that statement, but it's for sure, up there. Now this would no doubt work on current hardware, I'll put that out there now. In fact, no doubt if 4K rumors are true, that will be the case for every game. They need to make sure it works on both systems. systems. I'm envisioning, you know, like a 4K patch that I download just to make my SD card cry even more. Persona 5 though, visually it's all about style, like it's literally ripping the pages from like an anime, and whether it's the text or the world or even the characters, the sharpness of the image is what makes it near perfect. You add in, you know, pixelation or that slight blur that we see every so often, it's just going to damage the creative intention. Would I be okay with a standard build where they pull some things away? Sure, but who doesn't want it to look, you know, its very best? And if any game deserves that treatment, this is absolutely it. Before we get to the final game today, I want to talk, you know, online play. No doubt if we see 4K, we see more power, and one genre that would absolutely benefit any online shooter. Or some games can get it right, see, you know, Paladins running at 60 FPS. So many struggle right now, like Fortnite has pop-in, it runs at 30 FPS. Figure the draw distance makes sniping not impossible, but bloody difficult, that's for sure. Your enemies are like stuttering across the screen. Then even the recent Spellbreak where the frame rate would drop into the 20s, and the pop-in, you're gonna see it a lot. The big thing for all of these though, frame rate. It creates an uneven battlefield right now because of crossplay. The higher the frame rate, the easier the Twitch gameplay becomes. It reduces ghosting, it reduces tearing. While it still wouldn't be, you know, on par with PC players, no doubt, like obviously outputting the best, making that gap smaller would be absolutely huge for players out there. Okay, so the long talked about now, Grand Theft Auto 5. Alright, I can see the comments already. This released on the PS3, a console that's underpowered in comparison to the Switch, and that makes it even more perfect for an add to the library. Give us a PS3-like build for the standard Switch, and then throw us that juicy visual upgrade for the 4K system. How big that patch would be, I do dread to think. Not only will we get the visual bump though, but performance. The PS3 version, it hovers somewhere around, on average at least, the 20 to 25 frames per second. PS4, you're looking closer to 30. This would also be a chance to give us more options with a 4K build, as GTA 5 features a boost mode on the PS4 Pro, meaning improved visuals, improved frame rate, improved performance. And I think that would be really cool. No doubt the first thing we think with 4K is it going to look prettier? But that also means better hardware. So why not give us performance options where, down to personal preference, we can go ahead and choose between, you know, improved visuals, improved performance, frame rate over graphics, and vice versa. And that is my 5 picks. 2 we know are absolutely 100% coming, 3 wishlist entries. I know one thing though, if it is true and we do get this mid-generation update, my job just got a whole lot more complicated reviewing Switch games. What are your wishlist games though? What do you hope to see? What improvement do you want the most as well? Would you favor, you know, performance over graphics, or the other way around? Where do you sit with that? As always then, like a shout out to the patrons who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, it is linked in the video description down below. Then, as always, look, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.